Hey y'all, I'm so fucking pissed. I had like 25 minutes, probably like I think like 27 minutes worth of footage I was recording for this video, and something fucking happened and now I gotta do it all over. And I had a really good take too. So god damn it, but running it back. How's it going, y'all? Today we're gonna talk about the NBA Finals. Um, the Knicks are such a special team, man. I just cannot believe it. And they got me some money too. Um, I didn't gamble or anything, but um, it's really funny actually, because going into the finals before, I had whoever won the Western Conference Finals as like the champion, right? So because the Spurs won it, I was like, you know what, the Spurs are gonna win it. But I really thought about it, and I was like, the reason why I thought about it was because of my coworker was like, let's make a bet, man, who wins it? And I was like, you know what? The more I think about it, the more I'm going with the Knicks. I feel like, the Knicks are more battle tested. They had their insane playoff run of just like what, 12 and 2 in the before the finals even started. Um, and also the Spurs are a relatively young team, pretty inexperienced. I mean, overachieving for sure. This season. Um, but yeah, I was also really excited because of obviously the Knicks and Spurs 1999 Finals rematch plus the NBA Cup rematch. But that's unrelated. I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? It's actually more of a coin flip to me than people think. Um, and I'm glad I was right. And honestly, it might have not even been like a coin flip. I think whatever the odds were for the Spurs and Knicks going into it, maybe they should have been flipped, honestly. Um, but yeah, it was $10 each game, so my payout was $30. So pretty happy with it. Go Knicks. But I'm also happy because my dad's a Knicks fan. Not that he gives a shit. He stopped caring about the Knicks a long time ago. But also because of New York, man. They deserve this win. They are a very passionate fan base. Maybe too passionate at times, but still, they've been waiting 53 years for this, and they finally got it. So I'm really happy for them. Go New York. Um, so yeah. Oh, I gotta get a Knicks hat too. It won't be like the modern logo. I don't want to do modern logos. I gotta do like throwback ones to show I'm an NBA fan and not like a fan of a team. You know what I mean? Besides the Lakers. Um, so I'm gonna get like the old logo. You know what I mean? With the dude with like did he have like a saber? I'm not sure, but yeah. God, who's texting me? I don't care. It's probably some group chat. I don't give a shit. We're talking about basketball, baby. They're sending a lot. Jesus. Okay, flip it upside down. Don't get distracted. Okay. So, anything else I want to mention before the series? Oh yeah, just the series in general was very, very, very comeback heavy. Um, I mean, man, it felt like most of the series, or I guess most of these games, I'll put it, the Spurs were ahead. Like they had a lead, right? Maybe like 75% of the time during these games, the Spurs had a lead. But um, yeah, the Knicks didn't care. They would just come back, and they would come back in miraculous ways, man. It was truly touching to watch. Um, and also, man, just because of how great and close these finals were, like every game was close. The the least closest, I'll put it. uh, the game with the biggest point differential was the first game actually with like 10 points. So that was the only double digit game, you know. But yeah. This was because the only my only history with each final series would be I knew the 2016 finals were going on because it was on the radio, but I didn't keep track of it, nor did I watch the games. Um, but I did watch uh game 5 of the 2023 NBA Finals. I wasn't a basketball fan back then, but I decided to watch it while working out. I didn't know it was at the time, but I'm pretty sure it was that game because I remember them saying Nikola Jokic was finally a champion, right? Um, but I watched the entirety of the Celtics and Mavericks. That's the worst one. Um, Not because it's bad or anything, but just kind of boring. And then there was the Thunder and Pacers. That was really interesting. Honestly, I thought that series would be my favorite for a while, but alas, we got the Knicks and Spurs. This was magical. This was such a good final series. This will probably be, I said it last year, but this will probably be one of my favorites of all time when, even years from now. But yeah, man. Um, I think I should get into the games now. Go one by one. So yeah. I got to be very careful about this, all right? Um, Let me close this out. Or actually, no, that's not what I do. Okay, you're still recording? That's good. I gotta keep close watch, man. That's so sad. I had such a good take, but whatever. All right, game one. Um, I was super pumped. Where are you? Okay. I was super pumped going into this game. Um, you know, Initially I actually thought the Spurs were gonna win. Uh, they're either gonna win the first two or they would split the series. I did not expect the Knicks to win the first two, but I was like, you know what? Let's see if the Knicks got it. And yeah, um, this was just an awesome game to watch. I was so pumped when they won. Um, I think this was the weird Josh Hart stat line game. You're still doing it. Okay, good. Yeah, let's look at the box score, man. Yeah, Josh Hart had like 3.6 assists and 15 rebounds. And then of course Brunson had like 30 points and then like three rebound. He had 3 rebounds. So. You don't usually see more rebounds from Brunson than assists, but yeah, 3 rebounds, 2 assists from Brunson. So, yeah, but yeah. So that weird stat line from Josh Hart. Wemby had a good game, 26 points, 2 assists, 12 rebounds. So yeah, not good from three, but that's all right. He was 22%, it looked like. And then, holy shit, not a good field goal percentage either, actually. So maybe not a good game. He was really good from the free throw line. That's where he got his points from. 12 of 13, and then 6 of 21. Yeah, so I don't know what was up with Wemby that game, but man, he could only shoot free throws. Um, but I remember defensively, I think he was really good. Um, of course, that's like the one thing you can consistently bet on. Um, but yeah. Um, Let me shout out Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado, it may not seem like it from like a box score perspective, but I think he's so huge in this series. You know what I mean? Um, it's funny because he's a little guy, but I mean, man, Jose just brings like this energy to the team. I think he's also like a New York native, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, I think he's super important for the Knicks. Because he's also a really good player too. He's got a lot of tenacity, but um, yeah, man, just shout out to him. He's awesome. Um, oh yeah, it was also funny watching Mitchell Robinson break all those free throws in pretty much every game. It was really sad to see in a way, but um, yeah, shout out to the worst free throw shooter in NBA history, or at least one of them. But is there anything else I want to highlight in game one? I was mainly just so excited the Knicks got the first win. because that is huge. That is, a momentum changer. You know what I mean? Um, nah, nah. Yeah, let's move on to game two. Um, game two NBA Finals. Oh, there we go. All right, you're still working. Please, for the love of God, camera, you're working. Good. Okay, game two. It felt like game two and onwards. That's when like the shitty uh foul calls and just shitty calls in general were happening in favor of the Spurs, especially in games two and three. That's when it really bugged me because that was like when I was most into the series. Um, because man, it just felt unfair. It felt like they were picking on the Knicks, and they didn't deserve that. But I'm biased because I was rooting for the Knicks. I'm sure if I were rooting for the Spurs, it might be a little different. But yeah, um, but this game, man, it was so close, down to the wire. I was so happy when they won. I think yeah, this was the game when Wemby threw it at Stephon Castle's back, and honestly, I don't know what to think. Um, because I never played basketball myself. I'm not super well versed in the rules and stuff. I should start to, from watching basketball and I should like start learning the rules more. But or just like, how things operate um in game. But to me it just seemed like unfortunate timing. Um and you could tell Wemby was really upset, and I do feel bad. This is his first finals, and that happens. That's gotta suck, honestly. That turnover was so crucial. And then of course him missing the game-winning jumper. It was honestly a good look from what I remember, but it just didn't go in. Um, Unfortunate, but yeah, really close game through all out. I also want to give a shout out to Dylan Harper, man. Dylan Harper, he's a beast, man. He's so impressive, honestly. A lot of people say he plays like a vet, and he kind of does, honestly. He was really upset too, because he wasn't getting enough minutes, and bro definitely should have been getting more minutes, especially in the clutch. That would have been huge, I think, especially offensively, because he's a good defender too. I'm starting to realize, but um, yeah, Dylan Harper at times is just unstoppable around the rim. Really, the only thing he needs to work on, like majorly, is his three-point shot because it feels like every time I pay attention to that, it just doesn't fall in. So yeah, get better at that, and then his scoring gravity would be crazy, wouldn't it? Both being able to score like on the perimeter outside of it and in the paint, like really well and really efficiently, especially in the paint. He does it so well, but I'm saying if he was efficient on both sides, what a wild player we would see. Um, but yeah, Dylan Harper's awesome. Um, but yeah. Anyway, anything else I want to mention about game two? I bet there is. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, let's look at the box scores. Yeah, no one really scored super high on the Knicks. The highest scoring was Karl Anthony Towns with 21 points and also getting 13 rebounds. It's pretty good. Um, but yeah. On the Spurs though, I think Wemby had 29. Yeah, 29 points, 2 assists, 9 rebounds. He definitely had a better game this game for sure. Um, but yeah. And then yeah, honestly, man, it's crazy because okay, your camera you're working? Perfect. It's crazy because like I was praising Mitch Johnson the last video I did about basketball because he just seemed like a really good coach to me, you know what I mean? And I still think he is, but he's got like a lot of work to do, you know what I mean? Especially during the clutch, man. To me, he should have been playing Harper instead of Fox for sure. but it might be more than that too. I just don't know how good he is at like in-game adjustments when things are going down, right? Um, but nowadays I feel like coaches get scrutinized more than ever. It could also be just a player thing, and I think it is a player thing too. It's both. But yeah, I think he's got a lot of work to do. I still think he should be head coach. I mean, he led them to the finals, right? That's something. But yeah, he just needs to learn from his mistakes. Failure is the best teacher. So yeah, hope he gets better because I really like him as a coach. I think he's a good fit for the team, but and what do I know? But yeah, the other coach, you know what? Just for the pacing, I'll talk about Mike Brown later. But yeah, anything else about this game I want to highlight? I mentioned the end of the game. I mentioned how close it was. Yada, yada. Nah, I think that's it. Besides the fact that they went up 2-0 on the road, which is absolutely insane. Analytically, that basically seals the series, but anything can happen in the modern NBA, right? Anything is possible. Did you like my Kevin Garnett impression? It was really good. Um, but yeah, anything is possible. Not that it doesn't mean anything if they go up 2 on the road. That's incredible, but yeah, they'd still have to be wary. Um, I think I'm done talking about game two. Let's talk about game three. Um, I was really into this game too, and I think this is the game where the most bullshit happened from what I remember. Camera, please stay on. Okay, looks like you're on still. Let me go to game two. Ba-da-ba. Yeah, well, first of all, man, this was the first game back at New York. I feel like the Knicks did this to themselves, despite what a lot of people say. Because if you remember, early on in the game, and like throughout parts of the game too, the Knicks had like some shitty ass passes, like frustratingly shitty passes that resulted in turnovers. Um, and I'm willing to bet it was just nerves. They're back at MSG with like an electric environment after going up 2-0. But still, man, not a good showcase of passing ability in this game. Um, but yeah, the other thing that frustrated me though was the calls. I think either this game or it was the other one um that Karl Anthony Town had like I think throughout the whole series Cat had foul trouble. But I think it might have been this game where he fouled out or got really close to him and couldn't play a significant portion because of it. Um, oh man, I remember two calls in particular. There was this one play Wemby did where he like basically threw down Brunson. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was this game, and that didn't get a call. I think something else got a call instead though. That happened on the court. But oh no, I think that was game four. I think I remember now. Thank God. So I think the first call was Stepan Castle kind of running into someone. I think that's what happened. And it wasn't called for flagrant because of something, right? So it went in the Spurs' favor, right? After the challenge or whatever. But on the other side, a little bit later, uh I think it was Champagne shoots a three, and then wait, no, what was it? Was it Brunson shooting a three? I think Brunson got called for like an offensive foul because he got in. What was it, man? I don't remember. But I remember it had to do with Brunson stepping on Champagne's heel, I think, and they called a flagrant for that when it wasn't like a Zaza Pachulia type play. I thought that was such bullshit, especially with what happened on the other end of the court shortly before. I'm not explaining it well. That's just because I don't remember it that well. Um, Sometimes I got bad, like visual memory. Some at times it depends, but yeah. So sorry, I wasted a bunch of time. But yeah, I remember seeing those two, and I thought, man, it's bullshit. I was so pissed just because of the precedent or whatever. I don't know. I was just pissed. I'm just kind of blabbing right now. Um, but yeah, this game, I still feel like the Knicks did it to themselves. Now let's look at the box score. Um, Wemby had a really good game. I think this was his best game. 11 of 18 from the field, 2 of 4 three-pointers, 8 of 9 free throws. Um, Sorry. And then he had 32 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. Um, and then it's not showing me the blocks. I think in one game he had like a crazy amount of blocks in the beginning. It might have been this one, but okay, I'll be back. I think my dog wants out. Okay, I'm back. I just realized my voice is gonna be fried today because I'm recording this video and I'm also gonna try to record the entirety of my Nintendo Switch 2 video that's gonna come out. Um I think I'll edit it so it's not gonna come out today, probably, most likely. But it might come out Sunday, maybe even like Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure. Just depends. But yeah, it's not going to be any crazy editing. I'm just going to add like images of the games I'm talking about. I think that's all I'm going to do. Anyway, back to basketball. I think I was talking about Wemby. Yeah, this was his best game. Um, of course, Dylan Harper being a beast. Um, Stephon Castle, this was probably his best game too, honestly. 23 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Um, yeah, I think yeah, Brunson had 32 points this game. Pretty damn good. OG Anunoby had 28 points, 1 assist, 5 rebounds. Um, OG was instrumental in the next game, but we'll talk about that when we get there, and we'll also talk about Fox when we get there. Um, but yeah, I was just frustrated with all the foul calls. It's too bad I can't remember what exactly happened. I think Brunson landed on Champagne's heel when he was landing or something like that. Or it might have been the other way around. I think Brunson might have landed first and then Champagne. Um, I don't know. Too bad I don't remember. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'll be done talking about game three. Um, Game four and onwards, I was less passionate about until what happened at the end of game four. But that's mainly because I was comfortable with the Knicks winning. I didn't have to worry about nothing. Um, so yeah, let's move on to game four. And before that, man, I think in this take I talked about Mitch Johnson as well. Yeah, I definitely did because I need to bring up Mike Brown. Um, Mike Brown, man, shout out to him. He's a wonderful coach. Probably not one of my favorites, but maybe top. I've been paying a lot more attention to coaches more, so I don't know. But he's probably top five for me, maybe. I really like Mike Brown. Even if he could be really cringy at times with like the who let the dogs out shit. Um, but he's my favorite unk of the NBA. We'll put it that way. Um, but no, he's one hell of a coach. The players really like him, and that's really, really good, obviously, because you need a good coach in the locker room. You don't want like a dead locker room coach, that can't like connect with the players or players have lost faith in, right? Man, he's awesome. Shout out to Mike Brown. He Wonderful coach. So they couldn't have done it without him. Um, but yeah. Let's see here. Game four. This was the infamous game. So this game, I actually this was the only game I fell asleep. I was really tired, and this happened. I think I fell asleep in the third quarter because I thought the Spurs had it. But then my mom woke me up and she was like, "Continue watching this game, please." And Um, it was like I think it was like 9 minutes left or something in the fourth. It was like part way through the fourth, right? Maybe halfway. And they did some incredible stuff, man. Um, Shout out to OG Anunoby with that tip in. Wild stuff. That was so awesome. Um, it got a triple. It's good. It's good. It's good from Mike Breen. So while not a triple bang, he got something else instead. Um, but no, man. When Josh Hart blew that layup, because to me it seemed like rewatching it, because I rewatched the game after it happened. It seemed like he was going in for a dunk, but he jumped too early, so he had to settle up for like not exactly a lay, maybe it's a layup, but just kind of had to let it. Yeah, couldn't dunk it, but yeah, he missed that. That was crucial, or could have been, but nah. OG Anunoby, like a fucking Superman or something, came running in, saved the day, got the tip in after Brunson's failed 3-point attempt. Um, yeah, he's the hero of New York that game. Absolutely wild stuff. Um, I was surprised with how many celebrities were attending the game. There were so many. Um, and a lot that I didn't know were like Knicks fans, like Taylor Swift. I didn't know she was, or like Jerry Seinfeld. Who else? Oh yeah, that Law and Order lady. But I guess it makes sense. I think, they do that in New York, so I assume she's like a New York native, but um yeah, man. The game was crazy. Also shout out to Deer and Fox. Rewatching the game again, it was bad, don't get me wrong, but I kind of get it. He stole the ball from someone and then was just kind of, he had his momentum. So he was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And if I make this layup, then that's huge and it's going to be really hard to come back from. But as we all know, OG blocks it and, you know, the sequence of events happened that led to the ending of the game. Um, but Yeah, Fox shouldn't have done that. He obviously should have like dribbled out the clock because they were up. But yeah, that's gonna be a stain on his reputation for quite a while, if not his whole career, because that happened on the NBA's biggest stage. Um, yeah, so game four also, I forgot to mention this, biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. 29 points. Uh, Yeah, there was a 29-point deficit at one point, and the Knicks came back, which is absolutely, absolutely wild. Um, so good job to the Knicks, and then yeah. Also, I don't know if I said it in this take, so I'll say it again if I did, but I want to mention this. I really like Cat's role in the offense. He's like a facilitator almost, and I feel like that works well. I feel like facilitating bigs is kind of the new meta. It just kind of works, especially if you got one that does it well. So, yeah, um, that's all I want to say about Game 4. Game 4, even though if I were more into it, would definitely be like the best NBA game I've ever seen. Too bad I kind of gave up early. Um, but yeah, no, shit was so inspiring. That game, anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. But yeah, let's cap this video off with Game 5. Game 5, Game 5. Any other player I want to give a shout out to? Or any other person involved? No, not really. Besides, I was going to mention him. What a game from Brunson, game 5. Ab Crazy. What a game. Um, God, how many points? I don't know. He had 45 points. Am I able to see when? I'm just looking on Google for all this. Thank God you're still recording. Um, but yeah, because around this point last time was when my take cut out. Um, But yeah, absolutely crazy game from Brunson. Quite efficient, 13 to 15 free throw percentage, or not free throw, 13 of 15 from the free throw line, uh, 4 of 7 from the 3-point line, and then 14 of 27 from the field. Um, yeah, man, Brunson played his heart out this game. They absolutely could not have done it without him because the second highest scoring that game. You could tell I've been talking a lot today, but the second highest scorer of that game was Mikal Bridges with 14 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. So Brunson was absolutely pivotal for their success. And I remember there was a lot of discussion about who'd win Finals MVP. Nah, Brunson. All right, I accidentally closed out the take, but thank God it's saved. Okay, so I think we're good. But yeah, Brunson played incredibly well. There was, discussion about who'd win Finals MVP just because of like how well Cat was playing, OG Anunoby, um, De'Aaron Fox. um, but no, it definitely deserved to go to Brunson, and he proved it in this game for sure. Dude, it happened again, but it saved again. So I'm gonna try to wrap it up now. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing to cause this. Um, I'm still relatively new to recording and stuff. Um, but yeah, man, this game was awesome to watch. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, Dylan Harper was the leading scorer on the Spurs with 25 points, which goes to show how awesome he is. Um, yeah, but yeah, no, the Knicks played really well. I think there was also a lot of bad calls this game too, but I mean, at this point, the Knicks did it. I'm so happy for them because they definitely deserve it, man. Um, Brunson's a special player. Yeah, I'm hoping that is all I have to say. Is there anything else I want to get out the way? Mm, I'm still so salty that these takes keep cutting out. At least I can like splice them together, I think. But nah, man. Greatest finals I've ever seen personally. Um, and I hope y'all think so too. Just close all throughout, and I feel like the more rightful team won it. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching me ramble. Um, my next video that I'm working on will be the Switch 2, but probably won't be the next video uploaded. But yeah, I think I'm done. Go Knicks. What a special team with special players. Bye. Back. It's not ending yet. There is one more thing I want to mention, just in case I didn't in this take, which I don't think I did. Um, so, obviously they were the comeback kings, but it was really funny because in game five they were down by quite a bit at the beginning. But I was like, you know what, man? I don't think that means anything to the Knicks. I don't, obviously being down by a lot of points is bad, but just it might not matter at all, knowing how these Knicks played. And I had that feeling, and I was right. Um, just what an incredible team. They are such a unique team, and I wonder, I can't wait to see how they're looked back on years from now. You know what I mean? So I hope in a very positive and favorable light. But yeah, that is it now. So bye.